I do have skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
Alright guys, now this isn't an Official Information Act request. This is in regards to a service request where, after informing them in writing on the 25th of October, even though John Strawbridge seems to ignore that little bit of letter, and then again ringing up on the 4th of December, and then the 17th of December, and then the 20th of December, to let you guys all know about this, and that I was intending on protesting if it wasn't sorted out soon, and finding out that they were still issuing infringements after being formally notified. I got this service request done. Now, this is the dirty, disgusting, immoral stoops that Auckland Transport have gone to try and get a reaction out of me. All it's done is made me more steadfast, if nothing else. And I have done some checks, and luckily my daughter is not in any trouble whatsoever. Here's the first page of the details in regards to CAS-940216-C5D8J4. You'll notice at the top I've redacted the name. They have put my daughter's name there. Isobel, last name I'm not going to mention, has had nothing whatsoever to do with Auckland Transport short of having her name registered for an AT hop card. Other than that, she's had no dealings with Auckland Transport, so that is the only way they could have gotten her name in relation to me, because I was the parent that had to sign up because of her age. They then have my email address, which I've also redacted, and my address, which is also Isobel's. So that in and itself is what I consider an attempt with the intent to cause me alarm and distress by putting a 16-year-old daughter's name on a form that mentions polices and threats being made. Because what they're saying here is that my daughter has done all of this because she is the one named as the customer, not me. Now you'll take note that its status is closed. Take particular notice where it says case closed date is the 17th of the 1st. Alright? That was the day after I drove past and first noticed on the 16th that they had blacked out those white lines and repainted the yellows. They give the address. They put a copy of my email that I sent to them in regards to it. And here I've said here on the 4th of December, we called AT and spoke to Kyle. After having this explained, stated that he would put in a work order to have the white lines removed. Can you please inform us as to what road markings are correct? So I'm asking them for clarification because there are two different markings in one spot. This they ignore. I attached them photos, and I attached them my latest response to Vanessa Oliver, the AT parking prosecutor, showing the obvious faulty road markings because there were numerous photos pointing this out to them. Telling them to please see they had the correct road markings and signage are displayed to avoid any further unlawful issuing of infringements, as Steve has worked for the AT for the last 15 years. Fair enough, only the last 7, because AT's only existed in the last 7. Before then it was another company. How many erroneous issuances has he done? Below are the links so far explaining the situation. We look forward to your defended hearing, and I supply them the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts in regards to the $60 ticket saga. They say that this was created on the 20th of the 12th, the case details. So for some reason, even though I lodged the work order on the 4th of December, they only created it on the 20th of December, and they're saying that they the assignee was parking compliance that received it on the 17th, so it took them 2 weeks from Kyle to send it over. Now I point out the 17th and the 20th are the other 2 times I called them, which is why that shit got actioned. They note here from start to finish, and this is on the second page because I'll read it backwards because it's dated relevantly backwards. On the 20th of December, they write from me, dear customer, thank you for contacting Auckland Transport. Your case reference number is, and they supply me the case reference number C5D8J4, last 6 digits. Alright? Keep that in mind too, because that was on the 20th of December, and that's the number they gave me. On the 28th of December, they write, customer has an open case for removing old markings and remarking the correct ones. Case number 926236G6N1C9. That number has never been given to me. I had no idea it existed, and that's somewhat 8 days after the 20th of December when they say my case reference number is something completely different, the one ending in J4. So now they're trying to say there's already 2 open cases in relation to it. Perhaps that existing case number has something to do with me informing Kyle on the 4th of December. Perhaps that's what that refers to. And then they say, the letter appears to have veiled threats regarding the parking warden in question and his children. I will repeat what I said. I asked a question. Would Steve's children, Zane and I forget the daughter's name, appreciate their father issuing unlawful tickets? That is in no way a threat. That is a question. The fact that I mention his children's names, he shouldn't put them on Facebook in the first place. They shouldn't be on the internet if you don't want people to know who they are. Okay? That, and they're no longer children, they're grown adults. Alright, buddy? No threats were made, veiled or otherwise. However, the threat from Auckland Transport by placing my daughter's name on this is very real. On the 17th of January, they write, redacted, managed this over the holiday period. So they're not actually stating who managed this or what this is. A request for info has been made under Lagoima. Police have been contacted regarding customers' commentary in videos. Okay, so they're saying because of my commentary in the videos, they've contacted the police. So clearly they don't appreciate New Zealand's Bill of Rights, do they? Because I have the freedom of speech, or freedom of expression. And if you don't like that, go somewhere else in the world. Go over to China. Go over to North Korea if you've got a problem with people having free speech. Then on the 17th, it says here, or for some reason they've done another entry and not entered it. CSR ACLK J4 B, 21st of January, afternoon team, customer has called requesting an email to be sent to him confirming the reinstatement of broken yellow lines and the job being completed. And they put my email address. I never got it. Alright? They never sent me anything. Now remember, case has been closed on the 17th, 4 days earlier. Alright? Now, the bit that I find very amazing in regards to this, in regards to that very point, is that on the response from the 19th of March that I got from John Strawbridge, the previous video I've uploaded, he states here, when I ask, the fault was first informed by us on the 25th of October and received by Auckland Transport on the 29th. Why did it take 2.5 months? He says, Auckland Transport AT has no records of a fault being lodged on the 25th of October. I can confirm that a request was created on the 4th of December. That's when I rang Kyle, stating there are white hockey stick markings as well as broken yellow lines. Please remove the appropriate road markings. Alright? That happened. And then he states, 5 February 2019, that they received an email from the contractor that the white lines had been permanently removed. They haven't been permanently removed, they've been painted over, and that black tar is already starting to come off. So they haven't been permanently removed, they're still there, they're just covered up. And they're saying that happened on the 5th of February. So if they got the email from the contractor saying that it was closed and finished on the 5th of February, who closed it on the 17th of January 2 weeks earlier? Doesn't say anything here about the job being closed on the 5th of February after being informed by the contractor that it had been completed. No, it's closed on the 17th of January, 2 weeks beforehand. Something doesn't ring true, John. Would that be another fib? Anyway, my whole point is that this detailed report in regards to the service request brings up my daughter's name, puts her in fear and in distress. Not only does she suffer from anxiety, but her name should have been nothing relevant, and the only reason they've done that is because, by their own words, the parking warden in question and his children. So they think because I name his children in a question, they can put my minor's daughter's name on a form that complains that the customer has been making commentaries. Police have been contacted regarding a customer, that would be my daughter according to their report, commentary in the videos. The police clearly thought nothing of it. No offence had been created. I was never contacted. My daughter was never contacted, thank fucking God. In regards to this allegation of veiled threats and commentary,
Good morning, how are you? I've got somewhat of an interesting situation. I did an Official Information Act request to Auckland Transport on the 18th of February, and I got a response from them. It was in regards to getting some white lines painted over because they were misleading road users that they could park there, and they got stung a ticket for... Well, that's the thing, there were broken yellows, plus there were also white hockey sticks on the same spot. So it misleads you because everybody parks there. Yeah, exactly. Right next to a P90 sign, so you think there's a car park. Now, I went through the process with Auckland Transport and the adjudication team and requested a court hearing, which we have a defended hearing on the 1st of April in regards to, for the broken yellow. So what I wanted from them is, because they were saying that they issued the ticket lawfully because there's broken yellows. They're ignoring the fact that the white lines were there as well. So the warden, under their rules and procedures, they're supposed to report any sign faults to have them repaired, which he didn't do. They've issued 12 tickets there since I informed them.
Yep.
So
have you taken photos of this area?
Yep.
So you got all the documents?
I've got all the footage, all the documentation.
Yep.
That's why I'm going to court over it, because he should never have issued the ticket. The adjudication team should have wiped it. They failed. And now the prosecution's dead set on taking me to court over it. And yet they haven't even proved that I was the person in charge of the vehicle. There's 2 registered owners.
Okay.
So they can't even...
You are a registered owner of the...
I am one of them, yeah. But and I asked them under Official Information Act, how do they choose? You know, when there's 2 registered owners, how do you choose who to issue the ticket to? And they said, because I'm first on the list. Okay, now that doesn't... Criminal standards under a Category 1 offence is beyond reasonable doubt, so that doesn't exactly, you know... Anyway, the point being is, I did an official...
I don't think you can even do that anymore.
What, register 2 people?
Yep.
Yeah, I know, they've changed it, there's a loophole.
Yeah.
Because we haven't changed ownership in 10 years and still own the car together, we're still in the loophole and can still do so.
Right.
But when I asked them, because I wanted verification from them, because the warden never reported the fault, I did his job for him. I called AT, reported the fault. I ended up having a protest outside the district court where the fault was 2 times.
Is it outside the district court?
Yeah, outside Waitakere District Court.
Okay.
It's just there's a 2 park loading zone and then a 1 spot.
Yep.
And you can see they've blacked out the lines now. They did that on between the 11th and the 16th of January. So I rang them up on the 17th of January and 21st, asking them for some bit of paper confirming that that fault's been fixed, because they're still ignoring the fact that there was a fault and shouldn't have done it in the first place. What the...
So you've taken photos since
Yeah, I've got footage. Yeah, I've got footage from September.
Yep.
Because I've also been doing some photography in public places tests outside Waitakere District Court and got harassed by the court security officers saying I can't record on a public footpath, which they're wrong. There's no expectation of privacy in public whatsoever, unless it's a changing shed or a public toilet. So, with the Official Information Act request that I got back from John Strawbridge, who's the head of the parking compliance, I got the work report for the case number that I lodged for the fault. In the fault, he's put on the customer's name. They've used my 16-year-old daughter's name, which was... Why did they put my daughter's name there when all along it's been me that's been dealing with?
correspondence is going to you?
Yeah, the only way they could have got my daughter's name is through the AT Hop card system, because that's the only way she's got any information with Auckland Transport. So they've put her name there, but what's more concerning is that they've then written that they have compiled an incident report and reported to the police over comments that are on, because I've put this up on YouTube as well. They've made an incident report to the police about comments, and the fact that it's all under my daughter's name is what's most concerning, because she has nothing to do with this in civil society. And then they've said that I've made veiled threats against the warden and his children. The only thing I've ever said about Steve Lemon and his children is I said I wonder if his children would appreciate him issuing tickets unlawfully and not following his procedures. That isn't a threat at all. But I think what's happened, in a way to make a veiled threat back at me, is they've gone and slapped my daughter's name on the form. Because now I'm worried and concerned that there's some incident report out there in regards to what I've been doing, it's going to be dumped on her. So I'd like to know if there's an incident report active in regards to my name.
Well, have you got any ID with you?
Oh, I don't have any ID, I can tell you my name. It's Mark.
Yeah. So you don't have a driver's license, right?
It's in the car, I never carry it with me.
Can you just do your photo and just write down your details and date of birth for me?
Well, I'll tell you what my mum said my date of birth was. I'll tell you what mum said my date of birth was. I don't know what my date of birth was, I was busy getting born at the time. And it's all hearsay information, isn't it? Think about it. No one knows when they were born.
Too much.
I studied law for 6 years, so they really picked the wrong person to issue a ticket with.
As far as the ticket goes, I think you're just going to have to run it through.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I'm going to. It's already been to court once, and the JP went and stuck it in front of the judge. Because
And what happened with that?
1st of April.
Oh, okay, so that's how it's come to.
Yeah, it's first call hearing into the plea,
Okay.
even though requesting a plea is considered a not guilty plea being entered.
Yeah, well, if you don't do it, so yeah.
Yeah, well, they use section 3941 to deem a not guilty plea.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, but my point is, because I requested a hearing instead of denying something or filling out one of their dinky forms that says I wasn't the driver, because that's what they get you to do. You fill out a request for a court hearing and they get you to answer the question, were you the driver or not? Because that's what it all comes down to. Who was the person driving at the time? And it's not for me to confess guilt. It's for them to prove that I'll find the incident report so you can see what's here, so you can see why I'm here. And this is crazy. 4 books for parking. But I'm going to Auckland Transport next to ask them how they got my daughter's name involved in this. That's the Official Information Act request response I got, and that's the response, and it's got my daughter's name there, and it says down there about being report being compiled for an incident report to the police. And on the back page there, they say that I've made veiled threats against the warden and his children, which has not happened. So they're making false allegations. I don't know if it's a scare tactic to try and make me just pay the ticket, but I don't just pay. We all have a presumption of innocence in New Zealand.
yes.
And we're only liable upon conviction. That's what liable means, upon conviction.
That's right.
Until such time I'm presumed innocent. And I actually bet New Zealand Police last year over an $80 speeding ticket. It took 10 months, 4 appearances, and I bet 3 police prosecutors, case dismissed. And they spent over $10,000 trying to prosecute me for an $80 ticket. Ridiculous. Yeah, they really have picked the wrong person.
I can't see anything in here regarding that. Okay.
There's nothing underneath my, because it's under my daughter's name, would it be under that? Can I make sure she's not in hot water at all?
Yeah, sure.
Isobel. I know because I was there.
Brilliant. I'll see that.
Because to me that's somewhat defamation. They shouldn't be making allegations like that unless they've got some...
I would presume, what, using your daughter's name?
No, here, a letter, the letter appears to have veiled threats regarding the parking warden in question and his children, when all I said was I wonder if they approve of their father issuing unlawful tickets.
Yeah. So what was her date of birth, you say?
I'm just more concerned about it being under her name than the bullshit they're trying to pull on the report.
How old is she?
Yeah.
And that's it. Look, mate, yeah, there's nothing in there.
So all of this reports is being compiled to report an incident and all that sort of thing is...
Well, I can go what...
I mean, the cops haven't come around and seen me, and this was back in January, end of January, so I would have expected a visit. Or a phone call, but I've got nothing, so I'm thinking they've just done that to shit stir.
Yeah, well, maybe so.
You know how much they made in parking tickets last year?
Yeah,
85 million.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, I don't know the exact figure, but...
85 million and 86 million in speed camera revenue.
But look, I really can't.
So there's nothing...
It's just a legal process really with the other stuff.
Oh yeah, sure.
As far as that goes, I can't do anything with that either. I mean, getting her name taken off it.
That's why I'm going to AT now to ask them what it's doing there in the first place, because it was never given to them.
Yeah.
So how did they access my daughter's name and put it on a and I've made 4 or 5 different lodges of case numbers with Auckland Transport, one over the repair, one over the unlawful actions of the warden, one over other official information acts that I wanted to know some answers to. They hate official information acts. So they got to answer them. So exactly.
But so we seem to have
nothing to stress or worry about as far as her or me. There's nothing open. Good.
And nothing in there about.
I'm just wondering what incident they're trying to refer to. There hasn't been one.
Yeah, I can't answer that. Yeah, definitely have to ask. There's nothing that we've got.
I expect if I go there, they'll probably turn around and ask me to leave and try and trespass me. Because it's the type of attitude they have. But to me, it's a public place, I can go there. So. But, I mean, I'm not going to act unlawfully or incite any riot or disorderly behaviour or breach of the peace. God, stupid bag.
A big one.
That's what I mean, for a parking ticket. Crazy. You should have seen the pile for the speeding ticket. It's about yay high.
Cut down another truck.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right. Thank you very much. What was your name? Dean. Appreciate it, mate. Have a good day. Thank you. Right, we're going to find Auckland Transport here in Henderson, and we're going to go ask some questions. An Auckland Council organisation, what Auckland Transport itself is. Is this Auckland Transport?
No.
Where would I find them?
Council. It depends what you need to...
Their office in Henderson.
Right. Diane, Auckland Transport's office, is that down below?
Transporter now in the city, where you're looking for someone who's based here for transport.
Well, this is the closest place to where I live, and Auckland Transport was listed as being in Henderson, so...
Yeah, this is their registered office.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll come down there.
What was it regarding?
I got a response from an Official Information Act request from John Strawbridge, the old head honcho of the parking. What I'd asked for is a confirmation letter from them to say that, I think I spoke to you a few months back.
You're doing law.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah,
and this was in regards to that parking ticket I got outside Waitakere District Courthouse.
Oh, okay.
Where they had white hockey sticks and they also had broken yellow lines. And I was asking you which lines are relevant, whether it's a broken yellows or whether it's a parking corner, right? Anyway, I'm having my court hearing, defended hearing on the 1st of April in regards to the ticket.
Yeah.
But because the warden didn't do his job and report the misleading road markings,
Yeah.
I did. And after protesting outside it twice in January, they came and blacked out the white markings. And I wanted a confirmation letter from them to say that I'd reported the job and it had been completed, and to show that there was misleading markings and that they actually repaired them. They issued 12 tickets in the span of 4 months, 9 of which are going to Bay Corp, which really annoys me. But anyway, what they sent was, he sent me the Official Information Act request answer from John, and they also sent me this in regards to the case number. Problem being is that they've written here, first of all, the name. They've used my daughter's name.
Is that who the car was registered to?
Nope. My daughter's 16 and has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Oh, okay.
So I want to know why my daughter's name is on there, because the only way Auckland Transport have my daughter's details is from the AT hop card system.
Hang on, I will have a look in just 1 second and we'll see what the car is registered to.
It's got 2 registered owners, because it's been owned by the same people for 10 years, and the loophole saying that you now have to have only 1 registered owner doesn't apply, which sort of screws up the beyond reasonable doubt burden of proof for Auckland Transport in the first place.
Okay, so what's the car rego number?
FAN is in fan 394. It was helpful information you gave me last time. I rang them up, and because I was asking about recording outside the courthouse as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Turns out I can.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a public footpath, but they've just passed the new Court Matters Act in 2018, which deems the footpath as part of the courtroom. So now I can just have to stand on the street or across the road. Big deal.
Okay, so this car is registered into the name.
Should be 2, because that's me, and it should also have as a joint owner.
No, we only have the one.
Oh, the land transport particulars and details they sent me for the court hearing has both.
Yeah.
And I asked them actually if there's 2 registered owners through another official information.
I mean, we would only pick up on the one.
Because my name appears first on the list is the reason I was given as to why it was sent to me.
So I don't know why they've got your daughter's name on there, Mark.
Well, I kind of have a suspicion as to why. Because I've been posting everything up on YouTube in regards to the ongoing matters, on one of the letters that I sent through to them in December, in regards to having the road markings and a complaint against Warden 221126, Steve, I said to them in the letter, I wonder if Steve's children, Zane and I forget the daughter's name, would appreciate him unlawfully issuing tickets. Now, this is the report, and it says just here that they have compiled a report in regards to comments to be filed, an incident report to the police saying that I had made veiled threats against the warden and his children.
Oh, okay.
Which concerns me greatly, because I've never threatened anyone. So they're now making allegations that I'm threatening wardens, and they're putting my daughter's name at the top of it, which is a threat to my daughter, because if they're going to say someo's threatening and they're going to call the customer my daughter, which has nothing to do with this, that's a backhanded way of threatening my children. So I want to talk to somebody.
You know, there's nobody in this building that can help you, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why I came here. And I mean, if I have to go down to Viaduct Harbour and...
Well, I would actually ring and make an appointment to discuss it with someone.
They don't want to.
No.
I've requested writing to have a meeting with them.
You know, you can't get to anyone. We don't have anyone.
They all hide. Yeah, I get that. I hide behind the secretaries. But my point being is that in this Official Information Act, I asked them why did they not want to, because I asked them in writing for an appointment to discuss the matter with either Rick Biggood or John Strawbridge.
See, none of these names are even...
They're all the head honchos.
Because all that we do here is take the money.
Yeah, of course. But I've said to them that I'd like to have a meeting with them, and they've turned around and says that they're only interested in having meetings with registered owners. Well, hello. I am the registered owner.
Well, it would appear, yeah, if your tickets have come.
Well,
Yeah. So, I mean, all that we can really do here is offer you the use of our phone and give you the phone number to call them.
have you got a direct number for Rick?
Not for any of the people.
I'll have
We've
them on
only
there.
got the,
Well, I do.
the call centre number. We don't have.
There's going to be a video published shortly with all of their direct dial numbers on YouTube, so it is easier for people to contact them.
That's
355 3553.
yeah, you've got it. Yeah.
I've called it several times.
Okay.
Um,
And that's the only number.
so there's no one here I
have.
can talk to.
No.
That's quite disappointing.
No, they,
All right,
they
so-
haven't been in this building for nearly 2 years. They moved into the viaduct.
Okay, I was just following the arrows at the bottom there. It says Auckland Transport.
Well, no, it is their registered office.
Yeah, I get that, but there's no one to represent
But
them here.
there's nobody here. Yeah.
Just the revenue collection side of things. I appreciate that. All right.
Okay, so sorry we can't help you.
Yeah. What do you think in regards to that? I mean, I know you can't offer your personal opinion, but
Well, you've got.
how could my daughter's name end up on
I've got no idea.
because that's very underhanded to put
You
a
didn't
16.
send it from her computer where her name would have come up.
She
on
lives in
the-
Kerikeri.
Oh, okay.
She suffers from anxiety, and the last thing I need is police showing up on her doorstep, apparently under veiled threats. I actually went to the police station before coming here, gave them my name and my daughter's name. There's nothing filed
I mean,
whatsoever.
I would have no idea how they would even have got her name.
Well, I would expect evidence would be needed to make that sort of allegation to begin with, and there isn't any. It's just a comment saying
That's
I've made
something you'll
veiled
have to
threats.
ask whoever it is that you're
All
talking
right.
to.
What I'll do is I'll put in writing an official request to discuss not so much my matter because it's before the courts, but in regards to why this form has my daughter's details on it and what's to do with their allegations of me threatening anyone. Last thing I do is threaten anybody. I use
Well,
the
they
law.
probably do see it as a veiled threat if you put his children's name in because it shows that you know.
Their names?
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't be on Facebook, quite frankly, now should they? Steve shouldn't put his children's details on Facebook for me to look it up, should they?
Well, there you
You know,
go.
we are in
Yeah.
public, after all.
Oh, well, good luck.
Thank you very much, Diana. I appreciate your time.
Okay.
Enjoy your day. Thank you. I'm wondering how I can go about making an appointment to see either Rick Didgood or John Strawbridge. Yeah? What about making an appointment in the future, say sometime in April? Yeah, I have asked for an appointment, and in a response to Official Information Act request, he's said that they will only discuss things with the registered owner, which I am. So I'm somewhat at a loss because I've asked in writing numerous times now to have a meeting. I've asked to speak to someone senior parking compliance training manager or whoever. Yeah. If not. Okay. Cool. Of course, that's your email address and all the rest of it, sure. My main concern is I asked for a copy of this file in regards to a repair done in Henderson, and on the file it has my daughter's name, who's never been involved, and I'm wondering why my daughter's name is entered into that, and they're making allegations on this form that they've made an incident report to police and that I have so-called threatened a warden and his children. Well, if they're going to send me information in regards to a job or a service request that I asked for because they had white hockey sticks where they shouldn't have been and they blacked them out, which is all good. But they're trying to say by me, in one of my letters I asked if Steve's children would appreciate him acting unlawfully and issuing unlawful tickets. they've taken that as me making a threat. Asking a question is not a threat.
In the broader sense of the word, you can look at
Sure. Well, I'm going by the legal aspect. If they're saying I'm making threatening or veiled threats, then I would like to see what they're meaning by that, because otherwise that's defamation against myself. And also how on earth they got my daughter's name involved in this when I'm the only one that's ever contacted AT about this. So they've breached someone's privacy, my daughter's privacy, by putting her name on this thing. The only way her name is with AT is through an AT hop card, and that's it. Sure. I know what you say. It's nothing personal against you. I studied law for 6 years, and I'm going, in regards to a parking ticket I got back in October, I've got my defended hearing on the 1st of April. That's why I'm asking to try and sort out a meeting with them after that time. No. They issued me the ticket, plus they've also issued 12 other people tickets in the span of 4 months, when the Warden's own parking compliance training manual says if there's conflicting road markings or misleading road markings, being broken yellow and a white hockey stick in the same spot, no offence exists. Now they've gone ahead and issued tickets to people under the Warden's belief that the road markings was okay. Well, if he believes the road markings okay, why did Auckland Transport repair them after I reported the fault? Do you see what I mean? By your own actions, you've corrected a fault. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll be able to bring this up before the judge in regards to mine, but I'm more interested in the fact that AT ticketed and are now taking to Bay Court 9 of the 11 other people that were given tickets. Yeah, of course, and then they'll just say, well, I want my day in court, and then it gets thrown back at you. But yeah, my question is, where do they get my daughter's details? They're making allegations that I'm making veiled threats, which is incorrect. I've called into the police today. None whatsoever. She's lived in Kirikiri for the last 5 months. So yeah, no. So to me, that's a veiled threat against my family, because on the same paper they're calling the customer my daughter and saying she's making veiled threats and that they're filing incident reports with the police. Now I went to the police this morning and asked them if there's anything lodged under my name or my daughter's, which there isn't. So what are they talking about?
Sounds like it's a civil issue, and if you were...
Which is why I'm wanting to talk to them and get some answers. I can email Rick and John. And talk in court over an allegation.
If it's before these teams, I'd try you and sign in.
Sure.
Probably won't get a response from Mr. Strongfish.
Sure.
Being that he's
head honcho. Yeah, well, I've been dealing with Rick until John sent me this one, so...
He'll get, even if he's in the building or not, he'll still get an automatic generated email and text advising that you're here. Okay. And if he knows who you are, if he's here, if he's free, he might come down.
Oh, he'll know who I am, but I doubt very much he'll come down and talk to me, because he doesn't want to talk about... I mean, in my book, I would have thought that if ATs had a fault pointed out to them, they would put their hands up, say, our bad, void the ticket, much like the Paul Marston thing with the T3 Terror story that was on Fair Go, re-review the issue and void it. But they're wanting to spend thousands of taxpayers' money to try and prosecute me for a $60 ticket when it never existed in the first place because of the misleading road markings. I have their own training manual, 207-page manual. I pointed out your own rules to them, and they turn around and say, well, tough, it's in before the court. Yeah, well, that's why I'm going to court over my matter, but I'm more interested in the fact that they were still unlawfully issuing tickets, and their response was that the warden believed the road markings to be okay, and yet the photographs he took don't show any broken yellow lines. They actually went back a month later and took more photographs of the car parking space, which isn't even admissible because the vehicle's not even in the picture. But they've gone back and taken photos which clearly show white hockey sticks, and he says it clearly shows broken yellows, and I'm going, well, it may show broken yellows, but it also shows a white hockey, which is why people park there.
Try your luck.
I will. I appreciate it. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, so here I am at Auckland Transport in Viaduct Harbour. I signed in at the kiosk, waiting for John Strawbridge or Rick Goodgood, and nothing. So we will see them later, much later. And if they don't come, I'm going to make a day and set aside and just come down here and wait all fucking day. See ya.
So this I am going to deal with after the 1st of April. This isn't going to be put away and filed. This is going to cop some follow through, because after the 1st of April, when the matter has been concluded and judgment has been made in regards to AT's unlawfully issuing infringements when there is clearly misleading road markings that you all choose to ignore and yet repair in the same breath. Once that's done, you can bet I am going to be continually seeking an audience with either John Strawbridge, who has no problems being on television shows giving his opinions, or Rick Bidgood, the two gentlemen that have decided to respond to me. My next video is going to be all of the information that I have compiled in relation to each of these individuals, contact details, direct dial numbers, email addresses, so anyone else doesn't have to go through this bullshit and can contact these people directly if they need to. You guys working in public offices such as AT, which is an organisation of Auckland Council, should not hide. If you're doing things lawfully and correctly and think everything is above board, why do you fear? Why can you not have a meeting with someone that can clearly articulate your own faults? If you don't like me pointing out things in your own Auckland Transport Training Compliance Manual that you use to teach your wardens, which clearly the 4 that issued tickets didn't seem to give a fuck about, this ain't over. End of. I know I might seem or appear somewhat angry. This is just something I feel passionate about, and I like to try and put my point through sternly. I have no ill will, I wish no harm, nothing whatsoever, no badness towards anybody in Auckland Transport. You are all just lemmings doing your little job, getting your pay for it. I have no issue with it whatsoever, but what I take issue with is your blind ignorance to facts that are presented to you. And I take issue with Auckland Transport wasting thousands of taxpayers' money trying to prosecute someone for something that never existed. And I would love to see the other 9 people that are now apparently going to Bay Corp over this stand up and do something about it. End of my rant. Hope you guys will enjoy it. There has been many submissions and proposals in regards to evidence being entered without calling a witness, and photographs of mine and photographs and objections and responses. Lots of that has happened, but because the first call hearing has happened, I'm not going to show you any details in regards to that until the matter is concluded, because you can't publish things about matters that are before the court. I can give my own commentary, I can tell you what I like, but I'm not going to show you any of the documentation that's before the court or the transcripts until the matter's concluded. Then I'll be yelling from the rooftops, baby. See you later, guys. I hope you all have a pleasant evening. It's getting late now, the sun's going down, and peace to all of you. We'll get these bastards sorted out one way or another, won't we? See ya.
chuck it, let it go.